Hello, I'm Maria from the Richardson Simple Living. Today what I'm going to do is participate in something I've been tagged into. It's a getting to know me better type of video, and I thought that's quite apt really, because I've got some new subscribers, and I thought it'd be nice for you to get to know me better, and anybody else who doesn't sort of know me that well. It'd be nice to get to know some of my likes, dislikes and things like that. So there's a set of questions with this tag. Oh, I forgot to say the tag is been hosted by Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads, and I believe there's a couple of others taking part, Big Family Home Ed and the Hippie Homeschool Mum, I believe, are taking part as well, but it's hosted by Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads. So what she's done is, I've got them on my other phone. She sent me some questions that are designed for you to get to know me better. So what I'm going to do is go through the questions one by one and answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully you'll know a bit more about me when we've done. So the first one, it says, when is my birthday? Well, I'm a spring baby. My birthday, yeah, I was born in the April, so I'm a spring baby. Second question, there's 10 of the questions altogether, but the second question asks, what is your favourite colour? Well, my favourite colour is green. I love bright, vivacious greens. And I remember once when my mum was alive, I was going to a local garden centre with her. And as you go into the garden centre, it's like a long drive, and it's lined by trees. And it was the start of spring, and all the leaves were starting to come out. And it was lovely. The leaves were bright green and lush. And I said to my mum was driving, so she couldn't see them like me, but I was looking at them and I said, oh mum, the trees look gorgeous and the grass everywhere looks so green and so lush, bright and vivacious. And my mum said, you could tell you were a spring baby. So I don't know if that's why I like green, I don't know. But I do have a second favourite colour actually as well. I like pinks. I love any bright pinks as well. But green is definitely my first and foremost favourite colour. Third question, do I have any siblings? Yes, I do. I've got 3 brothers. I'm the eldest. And I always remember my mum used to say to me that my mum had got just one brother and all sisters. So I remember my mum saying when I was born, her mum, my granny, had said to her, oh, you're going to be like me, she says, and have all girls. Well, that was wrong. I was the only girl. And my mum went on to have 3 boys after that. So yeah, I've got 3 younger brothers. They're not that much younger than me. The next one's about 2 years younger than me, and then they follow 1 year after the other. So my mum had us all in quite quick succession, which was nice because we all grew up together and played together, so it was really nice. So yeah, I've got 3 younger brothers, and they're married and got children, and so I've got nieces and nephews as well. So yeah, question number 4, what's my favourite food? Now, I had to think about that. I mean, once upon a time, not so long ago, I would have said roast dinners. I love a roast dinner with all the trimmings, especially like potatoey things. I love things like that. So that if I'd have been asked like a few months back or so, I would have perhaps said a roast dinner. But I'm not so sure, because I also love jacket potatoes, and I like it with cottage cheese with pineapple. So I'm sort of torn between them 2. Although ideally the thing I probably eat the most of is chocolate. So I'd probably say in my ideal world it would be chocolate, but that's not really a food, is it? So I can't really count it as a food as such. But yeah, I'd be sort of torn between a roast dinner and jacket potatoes. I like jacket potatoes with beans and cheese, but I also love it with cottage cheese with pineapple. You know how you get the tubs of pineapple and cottage cheese together? I like to just slap it all over my jacket potato and have it with a nice salad. I do like that, but I love a jacket potato. And if I have a roast dinner, I like white meat. It'd be like turkey or chicken. We don't eat a great deal of meat, but if I was to have roast dinners, it will be either chicken or turkey. Although I do like gammon as well. I don't mind a little bit of gammon. So yeah, I don't know which I'd say out of the two was my favourite, but it's sort of roast dinner or jacket potato. It'll be sort of either of them I would pick. Number 5, well, the question asks how many states have you visited? So I imagine this has originated in America. Well, we don't have states over here in the UK. We have shires. So I just converted it to sort of how many shires have I visited. It's too many to say how many I've visited, so I thought it'd be easier to tell you how many I've not visited. So if we go up to Scotland, by Edinburgh, just above Edinburgh, and then you cross the coast to Southerners, which is a bit further down, so we're going sort of down like that. Anything above there I've not visited, but every single shire below, right down to Kent and Cornwall, the other end, left, right, or should you say west and east, whatever. I have visited every shire. I have been in every shire. Whether I passed through, whether I've visited, I've been in every shire. I've just not been any higher up than Edinburgh. But that's something we'd like to do, tour the top end of Scotland. But yeah, they're the only places, shires, places I've not been in the UK. So it was easier to say that, because otherwise I'd have to sit and think of every shire from Edinburgh downwards, you know, in the UK, and right down, right more down, and I'm bound to miss some. So yeah, I've been to everyone except for above Edinburgh. Well, it's sort of like that because Southerners is a bit lower down on the west coast. So it's sort of like that. So everything down below I've been, but a bit of Scotland above I've not been yet. Number 6, do I have any secret or not so secret talents? No, I don't have any talent. No talent for nothing. Talent for wrecking things, probably. Muddling things up. But no, I haven't. I tried to think about this. Is there anything I can do? Not really. I can write backwards in my left hand, if that counts as a talent. Because I'm right-handed, so I write normal in my right hand. But if I use my left hand, I write nice and normal enough, but it'll come out back front. You've got to put it to a mirror to read it, which came in very useful when Sean was little, and obviously with the tooth fairy. She used to send secret letters that you could only read in the mirror. So my left-handed talent was useful then, but that's about it. Probably got a talent for dishing out jobs. What do you call it? Oh, I forgot the word for it now. You know, when you assign jobs to people without them realising you've done it. My husband always says I've got a talent for that. The Art of Delegation, that's it. That's what it's called, the Art of Delegation. He seems to think I've got a good art in delegation. He finds himself doing jobs that I said I was going to do, and he finds himself doing them. So yeah, that's probably the only talents I've got. But no, I haven't really got anything as such. Number 7, what's the last book I read? Well, I do like reading books, because I suppose that wouldn't apply to everybody, because not everybody likes reading. But as you know, I'd been laid up recently with the dreaded lurgy. So I did read books in bed. I'd read a couple of books while I was up there. I'll show you the first one. First one was called The Avery Gate. My grandson bought me that as part of Secret Santa. It was really good. I enjoyed that book. But the last book I actually read was A Forgotten World. I probably told you about that. This was a really good book by S.A. Richardson, who just happens to be my son. So yeah, He'd got me that for Christmas, and that was really good. Not a huge book, so it made for nice, easy reading. But yeah, that was the very last book I read. So I believe you can buy this on Amazon. So it's a little plug here. You go onto Amazon and you can buy A Forgotten World, get it the right way up, Forgotten World by S.A. Richardson. It's on Amazon for sale, along with some of his other books. A bit of a plug. The next book I'm going to read, actually, I put my bookmarker in, but I've not actually started it yet. But it's Bobby Girls War, The Bobby Girls War. I've got the series of them. They're really good. It's set in World War One, and it talks about the first police women in World War One. So that's what I'm going to read next. But the last book I read was A Forgotten World. So yeah, where are we now then? Question number 8. What was my favourite vacation? Oh, I've been to lots of places, done lots of things. I really have to think about this because there's so many wonderful places out there in the world, and I've done lots of things, and it was really hard to think what did I like doing best of all. I mean, I loved Edinburgh Castle to go in to see the Scottish Crown Jewels. That was a fabulous experience. I've been to Stonehenge. That was really good, and it was just like these comedy shows on TV, because this coach load of Japanese tourists came out, and it had been raining. They all got these full-on yellow Macs, and they did all have the cameras. In fact, a couple got us to take pictures of them, and me and technology and the cameras, and I'm like, what do I press? But yeah, that was funny, really. That was just like typical off the TV type of thing. I think it was in Italy, actually. If I think about it, probably when I was in Italy, the things that stand out the most, walking the streets of Pompeii, because I remember standing on the streets of Pompeii, and my husband was filming it, Dean was filming, and I looked at him and went, yes, I'm here, because I always wanted to go to Pompeii, and I love history, and that was just brilliant to me. So being in Pompeii and going around Pompeii in Italy was amazing. One of my sons weren't so keen because he wouldn't take his eyes off Vesuvius all the time, and he kept swearing blindly because he's smoke coming from it. He was preparing to run. So it's not going to go up. You're all right. Not today anyway. But yeah, that was fascinating, and we took a tour guide round, and it was interesting to listen to what they were saying. And also when we was in Italy, one of the greatest places I went was to the Colosseum. That was brilliant. The only thing that did put me off the Colosseum was there's a modern elevator, lift in there, and it's all metal, silver metal lift, and it is so out of place with its surroundings, you know. I sort of went, but I can understand why they've done it, because you're not going to get up to the top floors, you know, if you're in wheelchairs or things like that. And it seemed to be, I don't know if there were steps anywhere else, but it took us to the top floor. So we went to the top floor, we looked down on the Colosseum, you could see through where there'd been all the underground rooms and things like that. We couldn't go down to that, but you could look down and you could see it all, and you could imagine it all. You know, you could shut your eyes, you could imagine it, and there was a big cross at the other side of it, and you know, and you think about all of the Christians that were thrown in the Colosseum, and you know, it was amazing. It was a lovely hot day, and the sky was blue, and you could almost go back centuries and hear it. It was amazing. So maybe that was one of my top things. But yeah, that was truly amazing. That was. I'd like to go. I mean, it isn't asking where I'd like to go, but I would say I'd like to go to Egypt. That would be a nice place to go. I'd love to go to the pyramids and the temple at Luxor and everything. I would like to do that, but it's a bit dangerous and too hot for me, and so I perhaps will never do that, but that's something I'd like to do. But yeah, I think a favourite vacation would have been to Italy, when we went to Pompeii and to the Colosseum. Number 9, if I could be an instant expert at something, what would it be? I think if I could be an instant expert, it'd be an expert in working out how to do all this filming malarkey. How to work all the technology, you know, and like and download things, and how to put thumbnails and things like that on, because I just leave it to YouTube and they just stick a picture on, and some of the front pictures, thumbnail pictures, are really weird. I could be pulling faces, or they could be totally irrelevant to what I've been talking about. So I'd love to be able to be an expert, and an instant expert, so I could download and edit all of my own videos and things like that, and do it properly, and perhaps not have me little kind Master K in the corner when I put things together. And you know, I'd like to be able to understand all of that, but I'm probably on the wrong age for all that. I don't know. But then you're never too old to learn anything, aren't you? But yeah, if I could be an instant expert, I would like to be able to be an instant expert in working all this technology. Number 10, if I was stranded on a desert island, what 3 things would I take with me? Well, I don't know, it depends what was on the desert island, really. I mean, I imagine there's all trees and wood and things like that, so you're not going to need nothing for heating, because, you know, you've got all your trees and things there. I don't know whether it'll be a desert island that's got like waterfalls, so you've got fresh drinking water. So I don't know if I'd need to take drinking water with me. I suppose, because I tend to think of it as being like a nice wooded island with waterfalls and lots of greenery. So maybe if that's the sort of island I'm stranded on, I wouldn't need to take water, because I could drink fresh water out of the waterfalls. So perhaps what I would take would be tools with me, you know, so that I can chop down trees, and a fork so I can dig the ground, and take seeds with me as well so I can grow vegetables. So I'd be able to have tools and seeds. And a book, some books to read while my seeds are growing, because what else am I going to do? That'd be it, really. I don't need nothing else, would I? If I've got seeds, I'm growing my own food. If it's a nice island that's got waterfalls, I've got water there for drinking and for watering my seeds. So I just need the tools and the seeds, really, and take a book to read. So I couldn't imagine anything else that I'd need. But yeah, so that's the 10 questions anyway that I was asked. I don't know if there's anything anybody else would like to know all about me. If there's anything you'd like to know about me, ask me down below, and I'll tell you in the next video or two. Anything else you might like to know about me, or any of us here, really, or what we do, or what we like, anything like that. So yeah, so that tag, as I say, was hosted by Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads. I'll pop a link to her channel down below, and I'll jot in the other 2 that should be doing them. And that's that, really, for today. Yeah, we're back at school now. Well, back homeschooling now. So Sean's been doing her homeschooling. She's like, I said to school tomorrow. She goes, oh no. Anybody think I was packing her off on a bus and she was going to school? But she's all right. So we're back in that. It's nice to get back in the swing of a routine, isn't it? Because it makes you feel better when you've got a routine. I think you get a bit lethargic and off it when you've not got a routine. And because we've been laid up as well, I mean, we're still in quarantine at the moment. I'm not, and Sean's not, but Lisa and Dean are still in their quarantine period at the moment. But hopefully not for much longer. They should be out sometime this week. They're still showing a faint positive line, so they should be out. I'm not sure if it's Thursday the 10 days will be up, so they'll probably go to then, because I went to my 10 days. So yeah, so Sean's back schooling. We're all more or less back to normal health-wise. Dean's hoping to go back to work now next week, weather permitting. That's the worst time of the year. We've been discussing a bit today about work, how we're going to replace things, what we could replace, how we could replace things so that we can focus more on here, because obviously we want to get all the garden up and running, all the little homesteading jobs, and get running with that. So that's it, I think, really, for now, to tell you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, all my new subscribers as well as my existing ones. I mean, it's fantastic that you all watch, and some of you comment to me and tell me you enjoy watching. Well, you know, thank you so much. That's really appreciated. And hopefully we can bring you more content, and some better content, and not just homeschooling, but also other things that we're doing out and about. And, you know, you get to know us better as well that way, don't you? So hopefully, yeah. And if a little bit of anything that we does encourages you, then that's great. So we'll leave it at that for now, and I'll be back now on Friday, and we'll see what we can bring you to watch on Friday. So until Friday, take care, everybody. Goodbye.